it's tough to think that a member of the military or a nurse or a school teacher is all of a sudden going to be able to afford a $60,000, $70,000, in some cases $80,000 EV. It's just not practical.
Paul, how many EVs did you sell this week? About?
I know it's single digits, and we have 30 stores, and we're not. They're not jumping off the shelves. And our day supply of a typical EV is almost more than triple of what it is of a normal car. So it's a scary time for us. We're carrying a lot of these in stock. I mean, at my one store I'm standing at right now, I've got over almost $1 million in inventory. That, again, it's not an easy sell.
Car dealers and consumers across the country sending a message loud and clear to Biden: we don't want your electric vehicles. But it's not stopping him. You'll do as he says, like it or not. And that's why this week the House will vote on the CARS Act to prevent Biden from taking you along on his tyrannical EV mandated ride.
Joining us now, co-sponsor of that legislation, Georgia Congressman Andrew Clyde. Congressman, great of you to be here. The Democrats are accusing you, the Republicans, you're basically trying to stop the Environmental Protection Agency from imposing this EV mandate. 2/3 of cars sold in this country would be electric by, well, in 9 years. But they're accusing you of trying to prevent the EPA from protecting Americans from dangerous air pollution, despite the fact that EVs actually produce more particulate matter than gasoline cars.
Well, you're absolutely right. It's great to be with you all this evening. You know, this is simply more government overreach. It's more control. You know, do we really think the EPA really wants to do something good in our lives? No, absolutely not. So we're going to stop the EPA with the CARS Act, and I'm very pleased to have co-led it with Rep. Wahlberg. But this is necessary so we can shut the Biden administration down. As you just said, you know, there are EVs out on car lots all over the country. There's a surplus of them. Why? American people don't want them right now, and they're not going to be forced to buy them. The infrastructure's not there. I think, as you mentioned a little earlier, the billions of dollars to produce that infrastructure hasn't happened, and it's not going to happen. So the American consumer deserves the freedom to decide what they want to buy, and we're going to make sure, the Republican majority is going to make sure they have it.
You know, Congressman, I love your bill. I think it's fantastic. The problem, though, is that even if you pass it in the House, it won't pass in the Senate, and Joe Biden would never sign it, right? That's the problem. But you guys do have the power of the purse. You could put riders on the appropriations bills to make sure that the EPA can't use any appropriated money to do these really tyrannical efforts on EVs. Is there an effort to look at the appropriations process to stymie the EPA?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because that is exactly what we have already done. And it was my amendment on the Interior Appropriations Bill that added that rider to it that prevented the EPA from spending any money to implement this particular rule. So we're already there with the American people.
Well done, Congressman. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Your trouble is, Congressman, before we go, thank you so much. It doesn't prevent. So all these states have their own laws going into effect, starting with California 2035, that the sale of new gasoline-powered cars is banned. And it's a bunch of states that have adopted the California law. So you're doing the Lord's work, but the left-wing nuts in California and New Jersey and the like, well, they're going to override you. But Congressman Andrew Clyde, thank you for being here.
Well, don't give up on us so easily yet, okay?
Okay.
But thank you.
I'm not, Congressman. Keep up the fight. Good work. Thank you. Appreciate being here.
And we wanted to point out that the Congress approved $7.5 billion for EV chargers, but they haven't built one.
Not one.
Yeah, that's right.